Woof.
Okay. So here is the new DevBlog that came out today on January 31st that I just found out about thanks to my wonderful division mates and chat. They reminded me that there was one out there. So this one's talking about new ships, and you want to talk about, I always say this is my first read through and reaction. This is literally the first time I've opened it or even knew of its existence. So we're going to go through with a cold read. As I always say, there could be mistakes or inaccuracies in here. If there is, oh well, I know it all. I just can't remember it all at once. So that's the way that works. So let's see what they have to say. What's Wargaming up to? What are they on about? Captains, we're now ready to share details about new ships being added for testing in Update 13.2. Read on to take a first look at their gameplay features and history. Well, what's the first one? We're up against French cruiser Montcalm. Tier 6. Montcalm. Sounds like Calm Mountain, okay? Pretty good amount of schnoz on that bad boy, at least the way this picture looks. And I think some other people have pointed out that the perspective on these pictures is kind of weird, and it kind of tends to exaggerate the ship schnoz. So anyway, Montcalm is one of the Legaussenier class light cruisers. She operated at North Atlantic, took part in the Norwegian campaign, covered Allied landings in Normandy in Omaha sector. She participated in the liberation of southern France. Has 9 152 millimeter guns with good ballistics, long range, high damage per minute for her tier. Torp armament is light with only 2 tubes per side, which can be effective in special situations. Well, I wonder what that means. In terms of consumables, she will supplement her main battery with the main battery reload booster, giving her artery lethal main battery an extra punch. She will also have access to the usual hydro or defensive AA consumables in one slot. While her base speed is relatively low, she will also not have access to the engine boost consumable compared to most French cruisers. So this will be a slow French cruiser. To have the greatest impact in battle, captains will need to put Montcalm's main battery to work. To this end, she will be best played at longer range because of her low speed and overall survivability. Her main battery reload booster will allow her to put out heavy burst damage and take advantage of damage control cooldowns. At close range, battleships and cruisers will look to make short work of her, like they do all light cruisers. Come on. Everything wants to maul light cruisers. Goodness gracious. So yeah, be sure to hide behind an island. Additionally, she may also be played effectively behind friendly destroyers using their smoke screens to block vision. Well, yeah. That's the ideal situation. Good luck finding a teammate to smoke you up if they're not in a div with you. Even if they are in a div with you. So let's look at the stats on this bad boy. 24,800 health. 18 kilometer range. Wowzer. 18 kilometer range. We may have to bring up Ship Tool ST here because we want to see what the dealio is here. This is cruisers at tier 6 because I think that's going to be, that's by far the best range at tier 6. Budione is 16.6. This thing has 18. Holy crap. Gun velocity is 870 meters per second. That's also pretty good. What else you got? This is 152s. What's your fire chance? Does it tell? 12%. Okay, that's also pretty good. If I'm not mistaken, for 152s. Yeah, that's Budione range of fire chance. Well, okay. 8.6 second reload with 9 guns. How is that compared to other ships? 8.6 seconds. That's right around Geduin and Dallas and Dido. That's right around there. It's a little better reload than the Gaussian Air. Wow. So you've got better reload than Gaussian Air and way better range. Interesting. What do they mean by slow? Let's get down and see. We're going to not worry about AA. It's useless at tier 6. Wow, only one shell explosion. Hoo boy. Maximum speed of 31 knots. Well, there it is, folks. There it is. How is that? Is that, believe it or not, it's only the Graf Spey is slower, but that's the same speed as Gaussian Air, but you just don't get a speed boost. You got a decent turning radius and an okay rudder shift. Concealment is 12.9. So that's going to put you at about 11.6, I think. So mediocre concealment. How is a 12.9 concealment? Well, that's actually on the bad end. You're down in the bottom. You're in the bottom few for the tier. And let's see, with damage control, hydro, defensive, AA. You got to choose between hydro and def AA. Of course, you choose hydro. Main battery reload booster. So nice. So if we look at we go to consumables and look at the Gaussian Air. Yeah, so the Gaussian Air has reload and yeah. So basically what you're getting is more DPM and much longer range in exchange for giving up your speed boost. That's really what you're getting. Other than that, it's a Gaussian Air. And Gaussian Air can be strong. It's not a horrible ship. So, yeah. What's up next? British cruiser Orion 44. Now, wait a second. Don't we have a battleship in the game named Orion? Am I remembering that wrong? Yeah, I believe that's a tier 4 British battleship. It is. That is a tier 4 British battleship. So now we got Orion 44. Well, looks like they converted it from a battleship to a light cruiser. No, but they're saying this is a Leander class light cruiser. Spent most of her time in the Mediterranean. Took part in battles of Calabria or however you say that. Cape Matapan, Battle for Crete, Defense of Malta, Allied landing operations in Sicily, Italy, southern France, Greece. Had the honor of being first to open fire on enemy positions in Normandy. Well, armed with 852 millimeter guns, one quad torpedo launcher per side. Only AP, so definitely Leander cruise. All right, so what's the gimmick? We already got Leander at tier 6, so what's the gimmick? Compared to her sister ships, she'll have better ballistics and increased AP shell penetration, but will deal lower damage per minute. So basically, basically we're getting what's probably going to be a copy and paste boat that they're going to just say, okay, we'll drop your fire rate. Your rate of gunfire will be slower, but we're going to give you better pin. So a little better alpha, less DPM. And basically try to resell us the same boat. Okay. Torpedoes will constitute a viable secondary armament. So good concealment, low visibility, and long range. Okay, so you may get longer range torps too. We'll have to see. In terms of consumables, Orion 44 will be geared for open waters, specialized repair teams. So that sounds like a super heal. Engine boost and hydro. So she's going to have an engine boost. Okay. So, unlike Leander, she will not. So you're giving up your smoke generator too. Not have access to a smoke generator. And due to low HP, weak armor, poor turret angles, captains will need to be careful. So sounds like it's going to be tough to get all guns on target. unless you're island camping. So you're giving up smoke, and you're giving up DPM to get better gun pin, and perhaps better torpedoes, we think. Okay. Not sure how the hill will compare to Leander's. What kind of a hill does Leander? A 14% hill. That compares to others which have, well, it compares favorably to most of the other cruisers at the tier. All right, let's look at these stats. 27,900, 8 guns, 9.5 second reload. I think that's a second worse, if I remember right. We don't see the pin values on here. So, torps, 2x4, 1677, 10 kilometers. So you're getting 10 kilometer torps instead of 8 or 7. Is it 8 or is it 7 that that Leander has? Leander has 8 kilometer torps. So these torps hit harder and have longer range. Okay. What else do we have? Again, skip over AA. Maximum speed 32.5. Not real fast. Turning circles, okay. Rotor shifts, okay. Concealment of 10 kilometers. That means this thing will have a 9 kilometer concealment when you take the captain skill. So 9.0. So this says 20 seconds, 558 per second. So that means you're healing 11,000. That's about 35%. So you're healing 11,000 on here. That's a super heal. Okay. So you get super heal, better torps, better gun pin to give up DPM and smoke. You're giving up a lot, but you are getting some stuff in turn. Don't know. We'll see. My initial impression was that this ship will actually be decent, but it's going to have a higher skill floor than the, because you already have a little bit of a high skill floor on the British light cruisers, but this one will have even a higher skill floor, I believe. British battleship Rodney. All right. This is a historic ship, folks. Was not Rodney involved in the sinking of the Bismarck? I believe. I think so. So, Tier 7. Rodney's a battleship with a unique layout in which all 3 main caliber turrets are concentrated in the bow. Sister ship of the Nelson. Played a significant role in sinking of the Bismarck in May 41 and contributed to the success of Allied landings in Normandy, June 44. Joining her sister ship, Nelson, Rodney is similarly armed with 460 millimeter guns. However, the turrets will traverse slowly, and the main battery guns have poor accuracy at long range. Okay. Supplementing her main battery, Rodney will be equipped with funny torps, turning torps, as found on British battleship line. Short reload, wide launch angle, deal high damage, but only launching 1 per side. She'll have a fast reloading repair party, low base speed, but an engine boost. In combat, she will excel at close quarters combat. Does that mean the thing actually has armor? Because the Nelson doesn't want to be having close range combat most of the time. Okay. We'll have to figure that one out. Yes, similar to Soviet battleships, our dispersion formula will afford improved accuracy at close distances, but will lose performance sharply as the range increases. So engine boost gets her there fast. Fast loading repair party allows her to tank. We'll be able to recover an increased portion of both regular and citadel damage Captains may end up needing this as her citadel is quite vulnerable to enemy fire. So no, it's going to probably have the same damn armor as the Nelson, which gets citadeled from every possible angle. The model is still in development. Man, they are so behind on getting models done. So for testing purposes, we're using another ship, Duke of Bronte, with settings identical to Rodney. Okay, whatever. Let's see what parameters. 62,900. Actually, what we want to do is we want to compare this. How does this compare to the Nelson? For you Nelson fans. So a little more health than the Nelson. I'm thinking that's the same armor plating. Same torpedo protection. 18-kilometer range. That's barely lower than the Nelson. What else do we have here? 5950 and 12,000. How does that look on the shells? Oh, that's much weaker HE shell. Same fire, no, 1% less fire chance and much weaker damage. A Nelson has 6,900. How about the AP shells? 12,000, that's the same. Reload time 30 seconds. 45-second turret turn time. So that's the same as Nelson. So I don't know why they made a big deal about that. What else we got here? Torpedo tubes, 2x1. Maximum damage, 29,367 with a 10-kilometer range. Yowzers. You get hit by one of those, you're going to feel it. If you're a light cruiser or a DD, you're dead if you run into one of those. Wowzer. All right, secondary we're not worried about. AA we're not worried about. Maximum speed, 23.8 knots. Jeez. So this thing's like upper end of Dreadnought. Ugh. Okay. Anything else? Pretty good turning circle radius. Concealment is not overly great. How's the concealment compared to Nelson? Concealment. Oh, there it is. Wait a minute. Okay, Nelson has 14.8. So this is the same as Nelson there. So this is going to be, again, another copy and paste ship. It's going to be a variant. I notice Wargaming's really doing this a lot lately. They're selling us all these variants of ships where they tweak one thing, they take away one thing and give you something else different. So this is basically going to be a Nelson with torps and better accuracy at close ranges, worse accuracy at long ranges. So I don't know. Don't know how that's going to work. Damage control, repair party. That looks like it's a 40-second reload repair party, but that doesn't look like a super heal. 28 seconds. So you're only talking about healing 8,000, around 8,000 health or so. That's not much. 8,000 isn't much compared to 62. So that's not a super heal. So you're losing that too. Well, yeah. I don't, right off the top of my head, I don't know why you'd want to play this over a Nelson, but again, the proof is going to be in the play testing and the play. So we'll see. Damage control per party, engine boost. So you get 8% engine boost. Okay. Interesting, but another copy and paste ship. And here is the appearance of the Delhi that was previously, or Delhi, if you want to pronounce that way. That was previously, we're on what? DevBlog 510. So the Delhi was previously talked about all the way back in DevBlog 504, and they're just now giving us a model. Wow. Okay. And that's all this is a model. There's just nothing else. So, okay. Quick recap. We finally got to see what the deli looks like. We're getting British battleship Rodney, which, don't get me wrong, Rodney from a collection standpoint is fantastic. That's a really nice historical ship. But it's just a copy paste of Nelson that has some parameters tweaked. You get engine boost and torps, and the Russian accuracy vibe, where you're more accurate at close ranges, but yet you don't have a hull that's good for brawling. So go figure. I don't know. So that's British battleship Rodney. British cruiser Orion is another copy and paste. It's a copy and paste of Leander. And this one is the one we mentioned. You're basically you're giving up your smoke and some DPM to get better shell pin, better torps, and I think a super heel, or at least something that's pretty close to one. So that's kind of how that one goes. Then lastly, French cruiser Montcalm. You could actually say this is a copy and paste of the Gaussian Air. Similar kind of thing. Once again, basically they're actually giving you a little more DPM and a lot more range. But what are they taking away? I forgot what they were taking away on this, but you get the idea. More DPM, better shell pin. I mean, less DPM for better shell pin. Was it your concealment? I think that was the same. But anyway, you get the idea. Another copy and paste ship with just some tweaked parameters. So that's it for this DevBlog, basically full of copy and paste. How many different versions can we sell of the same ship? I mean, it's it's the Fletcher zone. But anyway, that's it. New DevBlog today, January 31st, 2024. Hope you enjoyed. Now it's time to go back out and try and play some World of Warships. So we'll see you on the high seas. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to see notifications of future videos, just ring the bell. Until next time, Tater Dawg says, woof.